Hey guys, it's Ahmed from Recruitable University and welcome to our recruitment program. We are now on module 3. So we've covered 2 modules already. We've covered a beginning or the foundation of recruitment. We've covered selecting a niche. So now you've understood what recruitment is, what is required from you. You know what niches are, how to select a niche and identify a high value niche. Let's get into the heart of the recruitment process, which is finding talent acquisition, finding the right candidates. So this is the part where you get your hands dirty. This is the part where you actually do the work. So the first 2 modules, let's just say, were more of the theoretically side of things. Now it's going to be very, very practical. I need you to pay very, very close attention to what I'm about to tell you. And honestly, from just these websites alone, you can earn thousands, and no exaggeration. Myself, I'm starting a new project at the moment. We are launching very, very soon, and we're literally just using one website to get pretty much all of our data from. And I'm going to be sharing with you what that website is and how you can do the same. So let's get into it. So on this module, we've got 5 sub lessons. We've got job posting and advertising, building and maintaining a talent pool, implementing and managing an application tracking system, an ATS, pre-boarding process and documentation, and also what else you can do in order to get candidates, which is thinking outside the box, and other ways of acquiring talent to your agency. So let's get right into it. Job posting and advertising. Creating and managing job posting. It is a must. If you are going to attract candidates, you have to create and manage job posting. You've got to be creating job posts. So you can make it a tailored job post. You can use ChatGPT. You can make it, it's very, very appealing to your audience or your market that you're going for, and make sure then you are constantly posting on different platforms. We'll be going through the platforms I would recommend you to do. And first and foremost, one of them is your own website. You must have on your website a place where you have your own vacancies. So candidates will come to your website, your agency, look at, okay, this agency has these jobs on their website. So you'll get a huge amount of applicants from your website. This is really, really good. It's organic candidates and it doesn't cost you anything. You're not spending thousands or hundreds in marketing. You're just literally putting vacancies on your website. What vacancies would I recommend that you put on your website? So let's just say you've chosen the healthcare niche. So go on your competitors' websites, go on other agencies, go on, I would say, go on other providers, NHS, and go on their website and see what vacancies they've got out there, and you want to have similar vacancies on your website. So make sure that you've got constant vacancies always on your website. It's a huge plus for candidates. It shows that you are a busy agency. It shows that you've got the work that they are looking for, and it shows that you are competent and you know your market very well. So website applications are very important. So make sure once you've created your website that you have a page for your vacancies to sit on, and candidates are able to apply, submit their CVs, their numbers, their names to your website directly. So for example, on the website applications, I will give you a website here and just to show you what it should look like. So make sure once you're building your website, you ask your web developer to build you something similar where you've got a page for your candidates to apply, submit their email address, their names, their contact number, their postcodes, etc. And hey, Ahmed here. I hope you're finding value in this video. If you need any free advice or help with your recruitment agency, or you're thinking of starting your own agency but have some questions, feel free to join our weekly Q&A. You may have seen some clips from it on my page. I'll post a link in my Telegram community, which is completely free to join. I don't even need your email or phone number, and I'll personally be there to answer any of your questions. The link is down below for those of you who are interested. Now let's get back to the video. A place where they can upload their CVs. So why is this important? You are capturing data, you're capturing your candidates who are applying for vacancies. And what happens is once they apply for these vacancies, those will be forwarded over to your email address, and you'll get in lifetime get to see who's went on your website and applied, what vacancies they've applied for, and you'll get a lot of candidates coming your way. So it's really good having a page on your website. So it's a very important thing. And do not forget, once you're building your website, to whether you're building yourself or you get someone to build it for you, that they include an application page where candidates can apply for vacancies on your website. Okay, then we've got targeting niche job boards. What is a job board before we go into the niche job boards? And I'll give you an example what a job board is. You've got one here, CV Library, and I'll go into CV Library very, very shortly. So targeting niche job boards. So if you're going into, let's say, the admin sector, receptionist, that sort of field, then what job boards are the right ones for you? Just having a quick Google online, and you'll be able to find the right job boards for you. Top of my head, when it comes to recruiting for admin and sort of medical and admin and clerical staff, I would say Reed is probably the right job board. When it comes to finding medical staff, you've got Total Jobs and CV Library as well. So making sure that you've got a job board where you can find candidates. So the one that I personally use myself is CV Library, and it's very, very straightforward. You just click on CV Library over here. You look for the industry you're looking for. So if you're looking for a, let's just say, a dental hygienist, let's just say dental hygiene therapist. Cool. You just do view results. So you can narrow it down. Submitted since, I would say, last 2 months. And I'm going to leave it all open in terms of location wise. And we can find, let's see how many we can find here. Okay, so this is quite narrow. So if we just say dental. Okay, so we've got 5,320. You've got dentist over here. So the first one here, we've got Asif Mahmood, a dentist in Huddersfield. So what I normally do is click CV, and if I'm recruiting in Huddersfield and I'm looking for a dentist, this is the first candidate I find. View his contact details, and there you go. You've got his name, number, his email address, and yeah, and pretty much where he's worked in the past. So this is a really, really good way of building your database. Just you can download these CVs, and once you've downloaded them, you could store them somewhere safely, where you can always reference back to them. So this is a really, really easy way of building a candidate database. So you can go back on a CV library. Let's just say, for example, we're looking for a nurse. Bear in mind, you've got over 20 million CVs on CV Library. We've just got 33,912 nurses being displayed. We've all submitted their CVs in the past 2 months alone. So it's a huge amount of candidates available. So the way I look at it is I look at the location. So if I'm recruiting in, let's just say, Northwest London, I've got 5,000 candidates in West London. So this is a really, really good tool to have in order to build your database and to find the right talent for your clients. And once you find someone for them, then what you do is you just download a copy of the CV. So let's say over here, we've got Tatiana, and all you have to do is download CV, and that's it. It's downloaded. CV done. And you can view the contact details, and it'll tell you their mobile numbers, their personal email addresses as well. So it's really, really a good tool to have, and you just copy and paste this email. You can write her a nice email now, just saying, hey, Tatiana, I just came across your CV on CV Library, and I was just looking at, or I was just wondering if you were available for any work at all. If you are, and I've got these vacancies in your area, and you can write down what you've got available for her, or you can ask her, hey, Tatiana, I've just came across your CV in CV Library. I'd love to have a chat with you. When are you available for a quick call? And then, yeah, you've got the number here. So you can get on the phones to her and try to find her work that suits what she is looking for. Okay, and then you've got finding candidates info on LinkedIn and Indeed. And just before I move on, quickly go back on the last slide, just to let you know, CV Library is a really, really good tool. So is the other job boards, but it's personally the one that I'm using. It depends on what package you go for. The pricing, it could start from anything up to £100 plus a month. It can be slightly dearer depending on the package that you choose, and it could be slightly less as well, depending on how many users, etc., you take on with them. But just to give you an idea overall on what this sort of website or this database will charge you is about, give or take, about just over £100 a month. But the returns on that is honestly really, really great. And yeah, so let's get back into finding candidates. So again, as I said earlier, this is literally the heart of recruitment. This is the part where you get really, really practical and go out there and find candidates. Candidates are not going to fall on your lap. You've got to go out there and find candidates. Another tool that I use is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is absolutely free. You can get LinkedIn Recruiter, which is quite dear. I'm not sure how much it is. Last time it was a couple of grand. It's quite expensive, so it's not something I'd recommend that you get on from the get-go. But what I liked about LinkedIn is you can use automations. You can use sort of other automations that are attached or extensions. And I'll show you what I mean by this. So I use a company called Lead Leaper. So Lead Leaper, what it does is an extension. So this is an email finder, and this is really good in terms of finding candidates whom you're looking for. So if you are looking, so let's go on LinkedIn and let's just search software engineer. Okay, let's try to find software engineers. Okay, so we go on LinkedIn and we look for software engineers. Okay, so you've got one over here, Tamim Safi. So if we do Tamim over here, we click on the extension and it'll read their emails if there's any emails associated on the LinkedIn. And if I view my list, then there should be one over here. Here we go. So we've got Tamim's email address. So I've got Tamim's email address over here, and I've got even his office number. So, and it tells me what he is. He's a senior software engineer at JP Morgan Chase and Co. So this is a really, really quick and organic way of finding business, a candidate, sorry, for clients in order to get business from your clients. So what you do is just copy the email and you can just email Tamim with a nice email saying, I've got vacancies for senior software engineers in your area, paying really, really good rates. What is your best contact number, or are you available for a quick call? And yeah, you get on the phone to them and give them a quick call in order to get his CV. So once you have the CV, then you're a step closer to potentially placing your candidates and finding them work. Another automation that I like to use is Zoho Recruit. I'm not logged on at the moment to fully show you, but I'll show you the website here. What Zoho Recruit does is you put your vacancies out on Zoho Recruit, and it will then put it out on literally so many different job boards. It'll put it out on all the free job boards for you on your behalf. So one post that you do on this website will go on potentially 15 to 20 different websites, and it just widens your horizon or widens the audience that are able to reach you. So all these automations are really, really handy to have. And again, some of them you pay for, some of them are free, like LinkedIn is free. The extension I was using was called Lead Leaper, which costs, you can get a free version, which gives you 100 credit. So every email address you get is a credit. And then anything after that, you have to pay for it, or you can get it for £50 a month. And for 50 quid a month, you get 1,000 credit and 1,000 people. So it'll give you 1,000 candidates that you can download from LinkedIn. And even though it costs you £50, but you can literally make from one placement alone thousands and thousands of pounds. So it's really worth having. Zoho Recruit costs about 20 quid a month. And what that does is you post your jobs or whatever vacancies that you have on Zoho Recruit, and it will post it out to 15 different websites for you like right away, and it posts out to 3 websites as well. So it's really, really cool tool to have. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one. Hey guys, it's Ahmed from Recruitable University, and welcome back to our 3rd module. So we've just covered what job posting is and advertising and the different job boards or automations or tools that you can use in order to get more candidates. We've talked about using your website, organically having candidates applying through your website on the vacancy page, going on LinkedIn, using extensions like Lead Leaper, going on different job boards like CV Library, and potentially getting as many candidates for vacancies that you may have. Now we'll be looking into building and maintaining a talent pool. So how do you build and maintain a talent pool? First and foremost, what works for me and is really, really, really effective is speculative and targeted mail shot. What are mail shots? So mail shots are just sending mass emails to your candidates, sorry, of vacancies that you have, of vacancies that you're going to have in the near future, and making sure that your candidates are reached by email. I like to send out speculative emails, so sometimes keeping it generic, keeping it vague, so that way you're not narrowing down your market and it just encompasses everyone. And also at times doing targeted mail shots where you are specifically focusing on a smaller audience of your candidates. And so mail shots are very, 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 very handy, and it's proven to myself. I've built my company on doing a lot of mail shots. We do about, I would say, anything up to sort of about 1 million emails a month, I would say, realistically. So we do about 200,000 odd emails a week, 200 to 250,000 emails a week. We send out speculative emails, we send out targeted emails. So and people, when you're constantly emailing people, people come back to you. Let's say you email people and they don't respond to your email. They may respond back to you a month later because they were in a position, or it wasn't the right time. Your email may land on them at the right time. So there's a lot of times when I've sent emails out even to my clients, and they've said to me, "You've contacted me at a perfect time. We were just recruiting and we were just looking for someone. I'm so grateful you've contacted me." So do never underestimate the power of emails. Honestly, it's really, really great, and I've get so many responses via emails. And I think it's a lot. Again, it's not. And I know some people prefer calls, but emails, I would say definitely start with an email before you get on the phones to any of your candidates. And what happens a lot of the times also is candidates, they will say to you, "Oh, I'm a little bit busy. Can you just email me?" So they're trying to fob you off with an email. Once you send them an email, they can see that you are a sharp recruiter. That as soon as someone says to you, "Can you email me?" You said, "I've just sent you an email. I'm just giving you a follow-up call and just wondering if you managed to see my email. If you haven't, if you've got a couple of minutes, and I'll explain to you exactly what those vacancies were." So the emails are really good. It keeps your name fresh in their mind. So let's just say you constantly email them once a month or once every 2 weeks, you email them. And let's say 3 months later, they're looking for a position. The first company that they're going to think of is, "Yeah, this is the guy that emails me all the time for vacancies. I'm looking for something now." So yeah, so emails are a really, really good tool to have. We'll go through CRMs and the different types of CRMs there are over the next few slides. The reason I mentioned this is we use a mailing relay, an email relay, and again, we'll go through what email relays are as well over the next few slides. Another thing of building a talent pool, not to underestimate, and it can be very boring, but it's crucial: cold calling your candidates, getting on the phones and speaking to them, putting a voice to the name that they see via email is important. Cold calling, I target my staff to do at least 150 calls a day. So imagine you're making 150 calls every single day. Even if you get 5 of those saying yes to you, that's 5 deals that you made in a day. That is a good amount. So cold calling is important. It can be repetitive. It can be a bit daunting initially, yes, but believe me, the longer you do cold calling, the more people start to return your calls. Those cold calls will turn into warm calls, which then in turn leads to a sale and profiting. Another way of building your talent pool, headhunting, going out there, going on LinkedIn, and finding talent and contacting them. Also on LinkedIn, so LinkedIn over here, and best thing to do is once you connecting to your people, once you connect to them, you send them a message. So I can't send a message because I'm not connected to this person. So once you connect to them, send them an in-house message saying to them, hey, I just connected to you. I was just wondering if you were available for a quick call, and then get on the phone to them. Even though they may be working, they may be working for another organization, headhunt them, call them, offer them slightly better package, a better rate, offer them something better that your competitor is offering them, and try to win business and try to persuade them to join your books. So headhunting is very, very important, and it's really, really proven to be successful. To the point that you find some organizations, they've literally got a department for headhunting where they've just got staff. All they do is just headhunt all day long, go on competitors' sites, go onto different websites and try to find the talent pool that they are looking for, and get their details, get their names, their numbers, and email addresses, and try to reach out to them. It's also very, very important when it comes to building a talent pool that you regularly update your talent database. Never ever get complacent and say, okay, I've got a good amount of data now, I'm going to get into making money and get into recruitment. Yes, whilst you are focusing and making money and you are focused on what in servicing your clients, don't forget the importance of updating your talent pool. I've been up, so one of my companies have been running for 3 years. For 3 years, so I've got 8 staff members on the database updating. So all they do is they update the database, make sure the talent pool are up to date. And what they do, for example, just the way I showed you on LinkedIn, how we managed to get this chap's email address using the lead leaper. So what they'll be doing is just go on LinkedIn, go on, get email addresses, and once they get email addresses, populating it onto our CRMs that we are using. And then the recruitment team, their job is then to get all the cold leads that were added on from the admin team and turning them into potential sales. So what you need to do is make sure that you're constantly scraping data, whether it's from LinkedIn, various other websites that we'll be going through automations as well very shortly. And once you have that data, that if you do not have the time to constantly data scrape, because I know it can be time consuming, it can sometimes take hours and hours of just going on websites. It's boring, copy and pasting email addresses, hundreds and thousands of them. But making sure that you at least outsource this to someone else, that their duty or their literally their job role would be just purely making sure that they are just scraping email addresses, contact names, numbers from various different websites, and then you would collect them onto either an Excel sheet or a CRM. Again, is something that we'll be talking over very, very shortly. Another way of maintaining a talent pool is maintaining a good relationship with your candidates. Making sure your candidate is someone that you can speak to, someone they are very, very comfortable with, and in return, try to get referrals from your candidates. See if they got any colleagues, any friends, anyone else that they can recommend to you. Honestly, never ever underestimate the power of a referral. I've had a lady called Lisa. She referred me her friend, and her friend's been working with me literally till this very day. And so it's very, very powerful what a referral can do. It just builds automatically trust. They come to you, they know they've been told by a friend or a colleague of theirs that that you deliver, that you find that you can find work, that you've got extensive knowledge in the recruitment space, and it just builds that trust. They are very comfortable sending their CVs, sharing their personal details with you, because they know that you are someone that has been referred to them. So always ask on every I can't like reiterate this enough. Always ask on every single call, on every single person that you speak to, a referral. And absolutely, you are more likely to get a referral from someone that you build a good relationship with, rather than a cold call. Even though, do not underestimate that too. Sometimes on a cold call, a candidate is not available, they've not got the capacity, they've not got the time to work with you, but what they say to you is, I'm not available, my friend Janet or my friend Joe, he's available for work, this is his details, feel free to reach out to him. Once you reach out to Joe or Janet, they prove to be an absolute gem, and they'll be working with your agency for God knows how long. So it's very, very sometimes underrated. Some people just don't bother asking, but asking a referral honestly makes a huge, huge difference, and it can really, really prove to be successful. Another way of, I would say, building a talent pool, data scraping. Data scraping, again, it can be a bit boring. So that's what these are some of these tasks I would personally say to you is understand it, know it, master it, and then outsource it to someone else. Data scraping, going on online. So for example, it depends what niche you want to get into. And if you want to get into, let's just say, for example, healthcare recruitment, go on the hospitals, go on to different, you go on hospitals, go on to GP surgeries, go on to trust websites, go on to clinics, go on their pages where it says candidates that work for them, find out the name of the candidates, go on to go on to, sorry, LinkedIn, and try to find their LinkedIn page. Once you find a LinkedIn page, use extensions like Lead Leaper, scrape their email addresses and their contact details. And you've got also things like automations and bots. Honestly, these work fantastic. So again, this is something that you may it can be a bit technical, and it's not a must, but it can be very cheap as well. So you can find a guy on Fiverr or on Upworks on people per hour, and you can just say, can you create me an automation or a bot that just scrapes email addresses and names and numbers from websites, and he'll just give you a command. I'll give you a little tutorial on how to use it, and you just copy and paste an email address, copy and paste the website on there, and you can literally scrape hundreds and hundreds and thousands of email addresses. So data is really, really important. It's literally the value of your business. The more you work on it, the more you maintain your database. And I mentioned earlier the importance of updating your database. And what I mean by that is constantly adding on new people and removing people. And how do you know who to remove from your database? Anyone that contacts you that says to you, I'm not interested and I'm not in this field, you could remove them. Anyone that says to you, I've retired, I'm no longer in this space, you could just remove them from your database. Anyone also that says to you, I'm not interested and I would not like to be contacted, by law, you've got to remove those people. But you do not want to have anyone on your database who's not willing to work. So constantly data scrape, go on job boards, go on LinkedIn, automation bots. There's so many different ways. Referrals, your own websites. There's so many different ways of acquiring candidates. And candidates, honestly, if you are in the right market, if you've got a candidate, 9 out of 10 times you can place them for a really, really good finder's fee. If you're in the healthcare industry, if you're in the IT sector, if you're in the engineering space, if you've got candidates in these markets, you'll find clients left, right, and center. And we'll be going through how to find clients and how to acquire those as well. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Hi all, and welcome back to Recruitable University. My name is Ahmed on today's recruitment program. So we are on module 3 on talent acquisition, acquiring, and getting the right candidate. So we've covered on this lesson, on this topic so far, job posting and advertising, building and maintaining a talent pool, always updating your candidate database. Now we'll be talking about implementing and managing an application tracking system, a way that you can manage all your applicants and anyone that's applied for any vacancies at your company. So first and foremost, the best way to do this is to candidate screening. So screen your candidates, asking the right questions on one call. A common mistake people make in recruitment is they ask some questions and they forget to ask other questions, and then they pick up the phone to call the candidate again, and sometimes they can't get hold of the candidate again, or you just look very incompetent and the candidate has lost interest. So it's very, very important that you get everything on one call and one call only. The way I look at it is, I say to everyone as well, is once you're speaking to a candidate, assume that this candidate won't pick up your next call. Make sure you get everything that you want to say to them on this call, and you look very professional as well. You don't look professional if you ask half questions and then you pick up the phone and ask again, and then pick up the phone and then ask. You just sound very, very incompetent. So screen your candidate, ask the right questions, know everything about your candidate. Your candidate is your product. What you are sending to your client is your candidate. You are saying, I've got a fantastic candidate that can do X, Y, and Z. But if you do not know your product, it's going to be impossible for you to sell your candidate to your client, and therefore you'll probably not make anything at all. So where people go wrong is lack of understanding regarding their candidates. They don't ask the right question. Therefore, in turn, they don't know the right answer. When a client says to you, we're interested in this CV, how far can this person travel? You didn't ask this question. So it's important to know how far can this person travel, what sort of rate are they looking for, what are their competencies, what are their do's and their don'ts, what can they do, what can't they do, and try to get everything all on one call. Another thing that's very, very important as a recruiter is that you tie all loose ends, meaning that if a candidate speaks to you on the phone during lunchtime and they say to you, give me a call back at 6 p.m., that you diarize it, that you organize yourself. Another common, and it probably looks, you probably say this is something simple to me. It's, it's irrelevant to me, but I see a lot of recruiters where they go wrong is they do all the hard work of cold calling, they do all the hard work of emailing, and they go wrong when it comes to organizations not following up. If a candidate says to you follow up and you don't follow up, literally you look at it is that you've just lost out on a deal. And that deal could have been worth 10 grand. So to follow up calls, CBL. I can't stress enough how important a CBL, a callback list is. A callback list is basically any candidate that you try to speak to during the day. So during the day, your candidates are busy just like yourself. If I call you 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, more than likely you may miss my call because you're at work or you're busy doing some sort of work. Now, your candidates are the same. They may not answer your phone during the day. That's why you have a callback list. I have a list of everyone I want to speak to outside of working hours. So whether that is, I used to do this in my early days of recruitment. What I used to do was on my way home, I used to have a list of, let's say, 15 people that I wanted to contact, which I believed that they were the right fit for the vacancies that I was hiring for. And if I had a chance to speak to them on the phone, I'm very confident that I could close them. So what I do is I make a callback list of those people, and on my way home, whether you're on the train, on the bus, or on your drive home, or you're walking home, whatever, you just get on the phone to them and just say, hey, have you got a minute? Best time I used to find is anything after 6 o'clock. The golden hour for me was between 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. That is the time where generally people are more relaxed. They've come home. They're not as busy. Sometimes you find them sitting on the sofa watching something or just scrolling on their phone, and then you call them and they are more open to speaking to you. They are a lot more relaxed. They give you the time in a day, and there's less competition. Let's face it, a professional gets maybe 10 to 15 potentially calls a day from so many different agencies. So they haven't got the time. You're just another recruiter just hounding them during a busy period. But not many recruiters actually call during the quieter time. So this is a time where you literally it makes a huge difference. I can't tell you how many like deals I've closed during these times between 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Don't go too late, then then it becomes a bit evasive where you're just invading their privacy, where you're just contacting them during unsociable hours. So try to have a time where I would say 9 o'clock is the sort of the latest 9 o'clock UK time. That is, it's the latest I would contact someone. And anything after 6 o'clock, I find that people are either gone home already or they are on their way home and they've got more of a time to speak to you. So this is something that you should do. Follow up calls. Always follow up on calls. If someone says to you, and this is what I mean by tying loose end, if someone says to you, give me a call tomorrow, a not so smart recruiter will say, okay, I'll speak to you tomorrow. Whereas a sharp recruiter will say, okay, what time tomorrow? Tomorrow afternoon. Okay, what time in the afternoon suits you? Should we say 2 o'clock? Perfect. I'm going to put a note in my diary to give you a call at 2 o'clock. Another thing is when a candidate says to you, I'll forward you my CV. A not so smart recruiter will say, all right, perfect. I look forward to receiving your CV. Cool. You put the phone down, a day goes by, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. You may not receive a CV. But a sharper recruiter, what they'll say is, when can I expect to receive your CV? You'll get it from me this evening. All right, perfect. What I'll do is I'll put a note in my diary for tomorrow morning just to give you a quick follow-up call in case I don't receive your CV tonight. Is that okay? Yeah, that's absolutely fine. And that's it. What you literally, that's just, all you did is an extra 10, 15 seconds of work, but you make a huge difference in terms of an actual sale versus a lost lead. So it's important, follow-up calls, organize yourself, have a callback list. Any candidate that you think they will be able to do the vacancy that you have, then put them on I'll make my own Excel sheet, or you can make your own little Word document. So you can literally just go on sort of notepad, for example, and write down all the people during the day that you want to speak to tonight, and email yourself these people. And then just as on your walk home or wherever you are, just go from your phone, just click on the name, on the number, and start dialing. Another important way of keeping an applicant tracking system is, once you've done all that hard work of getting you scrape all the candidates from online, all these job boards or LinkedIn or whatever. Now you've got a good amount of candidates data. So you got emails, numbers, name. I can't stress how important that data is. That data honestly is worth, your company is your database. Without that database, your company is worth nothing. Literally, my company is worth zero. The name doesn't sell. It's my data that sells. So your data storage has to be on point, where whether you have a CRM. So a CRM is like a software, and I will show you a few examples of some CRMs that we have. So one of the ones that I use is VinCherry, the recruitment software. So this software here, what it does is it just stores. Okay, I thought there'll be a picture of it here somewhere, but not to worry. So you've got here, this is a recruitment software. What it does, it stores all of your candidates, their names, their numbers, their email addresses onto that CRM for you. And from that CRM, you can email people from that program. And again, you don't have to have a CRM initially once you're starting. And that's why I said you can even have Cloud Drive, OneDrive, an Excel sheet. Excel sheet works wonders, by the way. Putting everyone on an Excel sheet, you name, numbers, emails, postcode, location. So it's very much organized. And later on, if you are looking for a candidate, let's just say in Liverpool, you just go on your Excel sheet, search by Liverpool, and you can just pull up all the people in the Liverpool area and reach out to them. So very, very important that you have a good method of storing your database, whether it's on a cloud drive, an Excel sheet, a CRM. And I hope you enjoyed it and you've taken much benefits from these lessons, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, and welcome back to Recruitable University. My name is Ahmed on the recruitment program. So we are on the third module on the talent acquisition, and we've gone through a couple of sub lessons already. So we went through the job posting and advertising, building and maintaining a talent pool, implementing and managing an application tracking system. So we went through the importance of having a database, storing your database on a CRM, and we mentioned some CRMs, and one of them being VinCherry, and we went on their website. So just to give you an idea of what this platform looks like, the best thing to do is you go on their website and just request a demo. So go on the request a demo page over here, and it'll give you an option to fill in your details, and someone will be in touch with you from their team. And one of the CRMs that I use myself is Eclipse Recruitment Manager, and I've got a picture of it here. So what it is basically, a CRM is a place where you can store your clients, a place where you can store your candidates as well, and you can store your vacancies. So from this software, what I like to do is I like to send emails directly out from this software. So once you search, for example, the clients, it's got an option here that says send mail shot. So what it will do is it will load, let's just say 10,000 people over here. 10,000 clients will get one email from you. It's a really, really cool way to market and send out mass emails in one go. And same for candidates. So you go in candidates over here and you click on send mail shot. And what it will do, it will send 10,000, 15,000, 2,000, depending on how many people you are trying to reach out to. And it will send emails out all in one go. And it's really, really good in terms of trying to reach so many people in one go, especially if you're trying to fill a vacancy and you've got 8,000 people on your database, and all you need is just one person to respond, say, yes, I can do those shifts, or I'm happy to work at that particular site. Then it's happy days. So what you want to do is try to send out as many emails, try to reach out to as many people as you can. Of course, with the CRMs, there are costs involved. So with this Eclipse Recruitment Manager, this is a little bit dear. So it's not something I would recommend for you to begin with. And this is really good though in terms of calendar. So this is ideal if you're doing temp recruitment, especially healthcare. It's fantastic. It's a little bit dear. You're looking, if you're doing it on a monthly roll on, you're looking at anything sort of, I believe, again, don't quote me on it 100%, just have a look for it online as well. But I think you're looking at about, realistically, about, I think, 80 to £100 a month. And VinCherry, this one here, you're looking at anything about sort of £70 plus per month. So yeah, that's that. So let's go on to the next one, pre-boarding process and documentation. So on the pre-boarding process, what I like to do is have a welcome pack template. Anyone that I speak to on the phone, we have a template called CV request. We like to add those templates on our emails. So as soon as you speak to someone on the phone, send them an email, follow-up email saying, hey, it was fantastic speaking to you. If you can kindly send me a copy of your CV so we can move forward on securing you a position local in your area, paying really, really good rates. So if you can send me a copy of your CV, and then I will take the next step and find you the job that you're looking for. So this is just a standard template. You can use AI, ChatGPT, trying to find a nice little template for your candidates to welcome them and to try to get them to join your agency. And so once you do that, have that template, just literally just copy and paste it, and you'll see a lot more people are responding back to you because you are sending warm follow-up emails. Those emails are very important because sometimes you speak to a candidate or a candidate speaks to you on the phone and they'll either forget to email you or they probably won't have the time to email you. So you sending the welcome email or a nice little reminder email, or even saying further to our conversation, and it was really lovely speaking to you. If you could kindly send me your CV, and then have that email saved somewhere where you could just reference back to it for the next person that you'll send it to. I would recommend at least that you're sending at the minimum 50 emails per day. So of those 50 emails, even if your rate of is 10%, 5% are sending, so 5 CVs you are getting back is still a good amount. 5 CVs that you get a day, that's, if you do that 5 times a week, that's 25 CVs a week. That's about 25 a week, so that's 100 CVs you're getting a month. So 100 candidates that you could potentially place and earn a very, very good finder's fee from. Another thing is another mistake I see people make is they are very compliance heavy. So do not be compliance heavy. Do not ask your candidates to email you things that they do not need to email you. Don't just send them. I see people, what they do, they even put it on their websites. They email, part of their welcome pack email is a huge, huge checklist of documents that they need from them. Is very daunting. A lot of people don't have time. Me and you are if we get an email from a agency or we get an email from someone requesting for a huge amount of documents, more than likely we're not going to respond. So your candidates will not respond, or not many of them will respond to a email with a huge checklist. Ask for the things that are necessary and get the rest later on during the recruitment process. So what I like to ask for initially is just a CV. I'll say to them, our registration is very simple. It's straightforward. All we just ask is a copy of your CV. We won't ask for your 5 years background check. We won't ask for your right to work. We won't ask for all of these documents because it's not necessary. And I haven't even secured you a position. So I'm not going to give you a pointless exercise and make my life and your life difficult. So I say, don't be compliance heavy and just ask for the right documents. Collect the right documents and wait for the rest later on. So get the documents that you need initially. Most places will ask you for a CV initially. Most places won't ask you for a copy of the passport or any other right to work documents before they start to recruit. So ask for CVs, let them know and reiterate to them as well. We are a very, very fast, compliant agency. We only ask for the documents that we need right away, and the rest we'll take from you in your own time. This honestly brings a lot of confidence in your candidates, and it makes them want to work with you. A lot of candidates don't work with agencies, and some of them say this to me as well, is I don't want to join your agency because all agencies just ask for a lot of documents. I say to them, no, we are very different. We just ask for a copy of the CV. As soon as you send your CV to me, you are registered and you are on our books and you will receive emails from us. So collect the right documents and offer them in-house DBS checks. This is a huge, huge plus if you're able to do so. So there's so many providers that you can use. I use a company called UCheck. So I'll just show you over here. UCheck. So this company over here will do your DBS checks for you on behalf of your candidates. What some clients will ask you is, this candidate that you are supplying, we don't have a DBS, or the DBS, it's not in your organization name. Can you guys provide a DBS with your organization? So what you do is I just sign up to UCheck, and it gives you what I like about UCheck is it gives you two options. So it either gives you the option that you as an employer will pay for your candidate's DBS, or it will give you an option where it will say to you, would you want the candidate to pay? And if you do select it, then it will send them automatically a payment link to their email address that you've provided, and they will get contacted saying, please, could you make a payment? And once they've paid, you get notified that your candidate has paid and you can do the next steps. So the DBS enhanced DBS checks are about £52, 50 or just under £55 for the enhanced DBS. And offering these DBS, honestly, it makes your candidates attract your candidates, especially if you pay for the DBS for your candidates. But again, it's £55 or so. So I would recommend that you pay for your candidates DBS if they are someone that works for you on a regular basis, or someone that's part of your agency, has been with you for a long time. Then yeah, as a courtesy, what we'd like to do is pay for their DBS checks. Another thing that we like to do is the mandatory training. So mandatory training, there's so many companies that you can use. So mandatory training is anything like manual safety. I think it's for manual handling or safety, basic life support, advanced life support, adults and children safeguardings. So they've got quite a lot of different training modules on here. One of the companies that we use is Healthier. I think it's Healthier Business Training. That's the one here. So it's an online training. It's an online training business, and as an online training hub, should I say? And once you log on, your candidate, you can just send them a link, and they will do the training, and they will get a certificate. And the reason you need some industries, if you go into, especially in the healthcare industry, they will ask for these documents. So it's good that you have a process or pre-boarding process where you can just say to your candidates, we've got our own in-house DBS checking systems available. It'll just cost you £55, and they will make a payment and you'll get a copy of the DBS. DBS can take anything between a week to about 6 weeks, and the mandatory training is normally 24 hours or so, and then they'll get a copy of their certificate and it will have your company name on it. So these are the pre-boarding process and the documentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and I see you on the next one. Hey guys, this is Ahmed and welcome to Recruitable University on today's recruitment program. So we are still on module 3 and we are on the last lesson on the talent acquisition. So how to get the right candidates to join your agency. The last lesson that we'll be going through today is I titled it as Thinking Outside the Box, ways of getting candidates, ways of acquiring candidates to join your agency. First one of them being completely different. Be a different recruiter. Do not follow the trend. Do not just follow the same way that everyone else is going, but what can you do differently to get candidates? And one of the ways that you can be actually different from other people or other candidates is so from other recruiters is poaching from your competitors. And if you speak, let's just say you speak to Linda and she works for your competitor, and you ask her, hey, how much are you earning, Linda? And she says to you, I'm earning £50 per hour. Then you've got an opportunity now where you can say to her, hey, I've got a similar vacancy, or I've got the same vacancy actually, and we're paying slightly more. We're paying £58 an hour. For £8 an hour, it may not sound like a lot, but £8 every hour times that by 10, that's £80 a day difference that you could have potentially earned. And it does add up. So then Linda may say to herself, you know what, I'm going to join your agency if my agency can't match it. So it's a very, very effective way actually just getting new business. Another way, whilst we're on that topic as well of competitors, is reaching out to your competitors and just calling your competitors as a candidate. This is something that is industry standard and people do it all the time. Just they'll pick up the phone and they will act like a candidate and speak to their competitors in order to see what work have they got. Okay, so they're recruiting in a hospital in Milton Keynes. So now you start to call hospitals in Milton Keynes and try to find the business that they are working on in order to find them candidates and also try to get in with that client. That's one way of being different and thinking completely outside the box. Another way, what people do is they put out fake roles. So whether it's exaggerated job adverts or just fake roles. So this is just to spark interest from potential candidates. So that way, what people just see these roles. Okay, fantastic. You've got a working from home position, paying really good rates. Let me apply. You'll get bombarded with CVs, you get bombarded with applicants, and even exaggerated job adverts. So when I say exaggerated, where it's slightly higher than usual, you're going to get a lot of traction your way. You're going to get a lot of people applying for those vacancies. It's a proven method that agencies use all the time. They constantly posting out vacancies out in order to get responses from potential clients who are not candidates today, but again, once they applied and they handed in the CV, they're a step closer to being completely compliant with the agency. And for any future roles that come up, they've got their CV already on file, they've got their details on file. So it's just a case of picking up the phone, saying, hey, I've got some vacancies in those areas. Are you available for work? And 9 out of 10 times the candidates are available. So by being different, what else can you do? Go on online communities. This is very effective. Go on like forums, on especially specifically if you're working in a niche, if you're in the IT industry, go on IT forums and post out vacancies that you have there. Go on online communities and trying to post out vacancies that you have out there. I will also say events and exhibitions. There's events like a couple of events actually most of the times in the year where a lot of, let's just say if you're in the healthcare industry, for example, there is a healthcare event where you get a lot of doctors and nurses coming together, and you've got an opportunity just to go out there, have a stand, show them your brand, show them your agency, what you are about, what you can deliver, and potentially meet and network with people in the niche that you are recruiting for. So these are all different ways you can attract more candidates. Another way is incentive schemes. So incentivizing by asking them if you pick up 10 shifts extra this month, we're going to increase your rate by X amount. You'll be surprised, but this sometimes works. So if you just put let's just say for every 10 shifts that you pick up, we're going to give you an extra £100. A candidate may actually be enticed, say, why not? I'm available. Let me pick up these shifts. Or a referral scheme. So every person that they refer and that is successful and is placed, then most industry standard, most agencies will give you a referral. Some agencies I even see saying we offer iPads for referring candidates to us. So these are all just different ways of you just sort of thinking outside the traditional way of recruiting and say to yourself, what can I do to be different? What can I do to be sharp and go out there and find those candidates? I hope you've benefited and you've enjoyed this third module, and I will see you on the next one.